welcome to Paulogia and another edition of Ham and Egg News, where we react to Ken Ham reacting to things. And we've got a treat today, because guess who's finally returning to the show?
And Ken Ham, you're finally back. We haven't had you on here in a little while.
I'm back.
No, not Ken.
Hey, I'm back on Answers News. Finally, after so long.
It's Morgan.
I'm here, and I'm ready. And nobody knows whether I'm actually naked or not.
If you're one of my viewers who prefers not to hear swearing, blasphemy, or extended ranting, maybe consider switching over to a previous episode?
I said I was going to stop being so intense, but it's impossible? I don't know.
You can't ask water to stop being wet.
So here we go.
I'm Avery Foley. I'm here with Dr. Georgia Purdom. And Ken Ham, you're finally back. We haven't had you on here in a little while.
I'm back.
You
I've been
are?
away for millions of years.
It feels like it.
And now I'm back.
It's never not funny when he says that. I'm sorry. I make that joke sometimes, and nobody laughs because they're not in the cult of Ken Ham like I am. And it makes me very sad because they're like, oh yeah, it's true. I agree. And it's like, no, it's supposed to be funny because the Earth's only 6,000 years old. But alas.
Okay.
That's why Answers News has been so nice.
That was an angry face emoji from Georgia, and I love it. Is she finally, fighting back? I like sassy Georgia.
And we just opened our brand new playground.
It is amazing. My 2.5-year-old loves that playground. All he wants to do now is go to the Ark.
That is a playground that only a 2.5-year-old could love, because it's just blue and white. It looks so drab. It's sad.
Sad? I'll have you know that I watched the playground grand opening. Okay, that might be a little sad. But no less than the man who designed the playground himself was on hand to tell us exactly how non-sad it is.
How do you think this would rate compared to other playgrounds?
Well, once the word of this playground gets out and the way that these playgrounds get ranked, we believe that in the next year and a half, 2 years, this playground should be ranked top 5 in the United States.
How about that? In the top 5 in the United States.
Bam! Top 5 in the United States, baby. When Forbes or BuzzFeed put out their next top playground in the United States lists, Ark Encounter will definitely be there. And we can verify the claim objectively, not just an arbitrary stat that the designer pulled out of thin air.
Sad. And what the fuck is this shit over in the left? What is that? This thing coming up out of the ground. Does that spin? That doesn't spin around. Is that a monkey bar? I don't know what that is. Is it because I'm not 2.5?
That's just some kind of swing monorail thing. From footage, it looks pretty much like every kid just gets stuck and then someone has to push them to the finish.
That looks like good exercise too. She's getting there.
Plus, it's one kid at a time, so not the most efficient use of the equipment, maybe.
That is not something I've ever seen before. We don't have that in California. Very interesting.
At the Creation Museum, have a look here. What do you think this is up here?
That is a fucking rainbow. That is the gayest shit I've ever seen, guaranteed.
It's a rainbow.
That's pretty.
And there we have another rainbow. We have the dinosaur.
Oh, it's a double rainbow.
Oh my god. No, you didn't. I didn't even do that. Because I didn't even think that joke would end up on the radar. We got really lucky with that. Oh, Christ.
And then in the Creation Museum, you'll see this exhibit with a rainbow in it.
I'm gonna make a little barbecue, after the planet gets destroyed. Right? That's the sacrifice. That's probably what it was. Just it didn't have any, kosher barbecue sauce. But that was a nice little setup that they had there on top of that mountain. That would have been tight. I would have been down for that. Smoke it up.
And at the playground, we have a rainbow maze, and we're just getting ready to install this sign. And that's what I wanted to talk about, because they call June Gay Pride Month.
Gray Pride Month. That's another month.
Friend of the show, Christy Santiago, has been openly gay for quite a while now. But just last week, she also came out as openly gray. She's decided to stop dyeing her hair and let it grow out silver. So for Christy, this is Gray Pride Month. Good job, Ken.
We should make it the Bible's Rainbow Pride Month.
Rainbow Pride Month.
Yeah, we're proud of what God did.
We're so proud that our God killed virtually every living creature on Earth, and choosing to cause them to endure painful drowning rather than just snapping them out of existence. So proud.
All right, so our first sort of fluff item, official fluff item here.
Oh, God. Fluff item.
A California infant to visit all 50 states before 5 months.
Okay, so by fluff content, she means, there's literally no reason for us to be doing this.
Yeah, they started doing these purely for amusement stories at the start to let people get notified and jump on for the stream. Someone on their social media team thought that was a good idea. But yeah, when they do these AiG ads first, there's not much point in the fluff item 6 minutes into the show.
I mean, it's cool, but are we really going to have to spend 3 minutes on this in order to make a point about Jesus?
Well, we could start doing our own ham and egg fluff items instead. Got anything?
I wanted to do a shout out to a couple people, some of my biggest fans. If there's still that guy on your Patreon, Paul, that has the I Love Morgan shirt, put a ring on it, obviously. Tell him I said hi. I mean, I'm saying hi right now, so it's kind of cool. You can do both, maybe.
That's Andrew Henderson, one of my $5 patrons.
I love you too, and you're incredible. Thanks for supporting the channel.
In the spirit of ads, and speaking of supporting the channel, you too can be a Paulogia cartoon by becoming a $5 patron. My videos are generally very research heavy, as well as time intensive to put together. Quite seriously, if not for my patrons, I couldn't do this at all while still feeding kids and a dog, and I'd love to give the channel more of my time. So if you're willing and able, I'd love your help. Check out the link in the description, patreon.com/Paulogia, or there's PayPal and some other methods as well.
Secondly, Azric on Twitter asked me what my favorite Magic the Gathering card was, my favorite common card, more specifically. And because I'm awesome, I said Delver of Secrets, which is my favorite common because I think it has the best flavor, how the card works together. And then also, the artist is Nils Ham with 2 M's. So Azric and I both thought that was appropriately hilarious. So I'm really happy with that. It's going to be in my binder forever. I love it. Thanks to both of you guys.
So into our real news, this article, how to support your LGBTQ friends and family. So this comes from Canada.
Oh God, not fucking Canada. What are you doing, everybody in Canada? You guys suck.
I mean, right now it's our 6 weeks of non-winter. So mostly we're outside looking at the moose.
It's terrible. I already don't like you.
I know.
Clear.
But they try to help kids know how they can become an ally. And they call an ally as someone who is friendly towards LGBT and helps them.
The key is to never help people and never be friendly.
Treat others as you would like to be treated. Well, that's biblical, right? Where did you get that from?
Yes, people are naturally altruistic. And yes, you probably shouldn't kill people. Yes, probably shouldn't steal. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's better to be empathetic and work as a team. Oh my God. You guys, enough. This is ridiculous.
Now, try not to assume that your friends are straight or heterosexual. Then they put in brackets. They define what heterosexual means, because these days you have to define what that means.
I mean, I could clap back with the opposite of, don't assume that I'm a lesbian because I sound like a prepubescent 12-year-old boy and, I wear non-feminine clothing and I like guy stuff. How about you just be nice and empathetic and, don't even assume someone's sexuality when you initially meet them. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Don't let people bully LGBT. Well, we would agree. I mean, you shouldn't be rude or disrespectful or bullying somebody, but then...
But you should bully them, a little bit, because what they're doing is wrong. That's what she's going to say.
Speaking the truth in love, they would call that
sharing the
bullying.
gospel.
Well, and actually, the rainbow for the gay pride people is 6 colors.
Right.
And of course, the rainbow we use is
Right.
red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet,
Right,
which has 7
7
colors.
colours.
And of course, actually, there's a lot more colors than that.
It's there's more colors than that. There's more genders than that. That joke was in poor taste, but it was hilarious, and you should expect nothing less. Nothing more? You should expect nothing more or less from me, ever, than that. Jokes in poor taste. I'm from California. It's a different country over here. We have fun here.
This idea that children are
We
sexual
just had an
beings at
article
heart.
about,
and
was
so-
it Snapchat?
Yep.
What is that? Snapchat? The Snapchat? I don't know what that is. No idea.
Snapchat had a
it's
love
funny
has
that-
no age filter. They had it. It was only out for 2 days and then they pulled it.
I didn't see it because I don't use Snapchat filters or anything. It's far too complex for me. But I feel like my initial reaction to that would not be, oh my God, oh God. That's going to get you demonetized. Sorry. But you should put it in at the end or something. Patreon only outtakes for Morgan. That would be great.
I think what you meant to say is that most people took Snapchat's inclusion of age and its love has no labels filter in the legally consensual manner intended. Even though Snapchat was probably short-sighted here and definitely right in removing it when there was confusion.
It's very weird to just automatically assume that it's pedophilia. And I also don't really know where the association between atheism or a naturalistic worldview stems with pedophilia, because most people are kind of aware that you shouldn't be sexualizing children. I feel like we're all kind of on the same page with that. But if you're not talking about the crazy shit and then attributing it to atheists, you're not really talking about anything at all on Answers News.
And it was saying if 2 grown-ups love each other, it's never a bad thing. Okay, well, what if this child's parents are married and the father decides he loves his secretary and not their mom? Is that not a bad thing that he's committing adultery with their mom?
No! What? What fucking child is going to be able to compartmentalize something that complex, like a relationship between 2 adults? I mean, have they ever talked about adultery before, in reality, and the reasons, why it happens? And, you should put a link to, a really good TED Talk about why people cheat. It's a very good watch. It's highly recommended. Tells you exactly like the feelings and experiences that people have when they have an affair, and obviously not in a biblical way where it's like awkward and you should die if you like divorce your wife or cheat on her. Or wait, no, only women die if they cheat. Men don't die. That's what it says in the Bible. Huh. Oh, well, I've got this all wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. I repent for I've sinned.
If two adults love each other, and why two?
Yeah.
Why can't it be
It's
three
all
adults or four
arbitrary.
adults? Like, it's completely arbitrary. As soon as you get away from God's word as a standard, then
Fuck it, slippery slope, blah, 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 blah. One of these days, I want... That's also something that should probably be Patreon only. I'm sorry.
You talk faster than I do.
She does.
I'm on fire for the Lord. Not that I'm speaking in tongues, but I talk so fast. I just so much good stuff. And news.
We have a kids website.
we do.
And they can learn
Kidsanswers.com, I believe, is the
wholesome
URL.
things.
Wholesome things like how to not be kind and empathetic to people who are different than you and to let them down in a way that's somewhat nice but still incredibly mean. It's just you're not yelling at them and calling them names, but it has the same effect.
Our programs for kids with Buddy Davis and the Wild Brothers
and-
that you'll
Wild
see
Brothers
on there.
is great. Buddy
as
Davis
well.
is great.
Buddy Davis is great. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he is a ton of fucking fun, and like I highly recommend you go and see him like on YouTube. That dude knows how to have a good fucking time, and he is on fire for the Lord, and I love it.
So the Big Bang Theory's just a dud and a million years or two. I don't believe
All right, this next one from New Scientist I thought was really neat. Brainless fungi trade resources with plants like a stock market.
Disclaimer, I fucking love mushrooms, I fucking love fungi, I fucking love mycelium, I love that shit, that fucking graphic that they have from the article that has the mycelium. That shit is incredible, and I love it, and I really hope that if you're watching this right now, you do yourself a favor and go and research a bit about fungi and mushrooms because they're so fucking cool. And I'm not even talking about just the kind that like make you trip. I'm talking about like the actual organism of the mushroom kingdom. Like, it's very, very interesting and really, really cool. Probably on par with what I've studied in virology also. Just these different types of organisms. Really, really cool. Go do it.
For example, part of the fungi is in an area of high phosphorus, and another part of it's in an area of low phosphorus. They'll actually move from the area of high concentration, they'll move it over to the area of low concentration, and then sell it to the plant.
They sell it to the plant. Okay. I wish I could be as cool as Avery. I'm sorry. I'm not Canadian. I don't know what it's like to be cool. I don't know what it's like to be cool and nice and talk really fast. I have no idea what that's like. It makes me so sad. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm getting real giggly because I'm on fire for the Lord right now. Okay. Face. Whew.
They don't even have a brain, and they can do this.
Oh my God, I can't stop laughing. It's been too long, you guys. I'm like having too much fun because I can't wait for the hate mail and the fan mail to coincide into this beautiful creation that I call loveliness and joy.
And these networks can be huge.
Right.
Say it with me. Huge.
Tracks of land?
Much big. Very big. Huge. So big.
And they go on and say it's incredible the way this evolved.
They said that shit. Can you believe it? Snap, snap.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
this
not quite.
sophisticated.
Say it with me, Ken. Sophisticated. Sophisticated.
You know why they're amazed? Because how could it happen? Well, it couldn't. It had to be designed.
These are mycorrhizal fungi.
Fungi? Do people say fungi? Because I feel like I used to, and now I just say fungi, because if I say fungi, like, people have no idea what I'm talking about.
All I know is that if Bodhi was here, he definitely would have made several bad puns by now about being a fun guy.
The mycorrhizae are the most common ones.
Yeah, I wasn't going to try and pronounce that.
Yeah.
Good, because Ken can't even seem to read sophisticated, so, like, let's put our strengths where they belong.
And they're still trying to test to see if this model is correct. It's not, definitive yet.
Could you imagine, like, testing things until, like, you eventually get to the right answer? That would be, like, crazy. Why do people do that?
And we don't know. They've got to figure out what the mechanism is, but it just shows how complex it is.
Complexity does not denote design, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't need to say this shit. Nobody needs to say this shit anymore. Like, they should know better, and they don't.
I saw an ad on TV the other day for a spray for fungi for your toenails. Is that the same?
Okay, Georgia. Georgia is like fucking killing it today, and I love it because the triforce of power for me is obviously Ken, Bodhi, and PhD Giggles. But that like talk to the hand shit is next level. Again, like she has taken some body language and communicative classes to where she is ready for this bullshit. And, like, I love it. Absolutely. Like, level the fuck up, girl. I love it.
Okay, so let's just move on.
No, we don't have ads on this for a reason. So.
Oh, God.
Assuming there are no YouTube ads on this episode of Ham and Egg News. And that seems like a good bet. The reason is sitting to my right, innocently blinking away.
Discoveries indicate human ancestors repeatedly invented stone tools.
Our first tools would have been very simple, just like the chimpanzees. But it turns out, they said, it takes quite a bit of know-how as well.
I just read Avery's mug. I'm gonna pee my pants in a second because it says writer's block is a figment of your like, I need that fucking, like, where can I buy that shit? That's fucking funny. I don't know where my Sacramento Bee mug is. I think my mom might have stolen it from me and taken it to school and broke it. That's my hypothesis. But I do have a really fucking rad Phantom of the Opera mug that Paul should draw up with me. I digress.
Somebody said here, Avery talks fast.
Hey, I'm Canadian. I can't help it.
Is that true? Because Paul never seems like he talks fast.
Me?
You. Paul seems like he talks incredibly slow.
I talk normal.
I feel like I talk fast sometimes, but it's definitely like a skill that you have when you speak, and sometimes it's hard to moderate just how fast you're talking unless you're really paying attention to it. But why is it a bad thing? So I can listen fast, so why is it bad if I talk fast? I don't know. It shouldn't be an automatically bad thing. I love you, Avery. You have a fucking dope mug.
I don't know.
Canadians talk fast.
Yeah,
it's just a
but
thing.
you're a Christian Canadian, which means you probably can't even get back into the country now.
Now that was fucking funny.
Yeah, Ken made that very same joke when he met me.
That was some shade. That was some good ass grade A shade by Ken. I loved that. These motherfuckers are more vicious than they think. The real shade is being thrown when you're just being a persnickety bitch.
I have to go home and visit my family at some point. Hopefully.
They're gonna let me out of the cage one of these days, right? Ken gonna let me out of the cage. Oh, God. I'm having too much fun with this. This sucks. This is why I stopped doing this shit. I, like, start losing my mind and, like, I can't think anymore. And then everybody hates me because I'm so mean. But what do you really expect with this shit?
Elementary kids get special surprise drag performance at school talent show.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, what the fuck? Where kind of school is this? Where kind of school is this? What kind of school is this? Where can I go to get the free drag show?
The parents take their children to a talent show like parents have been doing for a very long time.
For how long? Millions of years. Parents have been taking their kids to talent shows. Ah! See? We have jokes here too.
But this is, again, it's this whole idea of trying to push pedophilia.
No, pedophilia is not tied to the drag queen community. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, what, explain to me, tell me how a man dressing in women's clothing is connected to pedophilia. Do it with your degree. PhD giggles, seriously. Unless you're doing that really shitty thing and not being nice and being judgmental and thinking that all drag queens are pedophiles. But you'd never do that, would you?
Trying to push LGBT. I mean, this is an
The
erotic
sexualization
dance.
of children.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
Again, tell me how a man dressing in women's clothing sexualizes children. Unless you're trying to tell me that women's clothing is inherently sexualized because reasons, and women are inherently sexual because they're women. It's like we can't help it. We have to just be like tits and ass all the time, whether you're 9 years old or whether you're 90 years old. Like, what kind of shit is this?
Hey, what would happen if they said, surprise guest, and it was Ken Ham?
I still would have lost my shit. I would have been just as excited for Ken Ham as I would have been for the drag queen PTA president. Are you kidding me? That's a rhetorical question, Ken. You know it.
They don't leave for sure.
You probably would have made more of a splash.
No, Georgia. Nobody would even know who he was until he gave 5 advertisements as to why you should go to the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum, and it's great for families, and it's only a day's drive away from, like, 48 of the contiguous United States, blah, blah, blah. Then everyone would be like, oh, you mean that guy who debated Bill Nye and lost horribly because he has a book?
This wasn't like
Freedom
all
from
over
Religion
mainstream
Foundation
media.
would be suing the school.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
In a
yeah.
heartbeat.
I mean, there are actual real laws about the separation of church and state. The worst the PTA president was guilty of was some kind of fashion violation.
My Little Pony cartoon debuts same-sex couple. Well, there's a cartoon, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which is an animated series.
It's fucking incredible, by the way. I've only seen like a couple episodes though, but I mean, I fucking love it. It's exactly as good as how everybody says that it is.
It's been a long time coming that they wanted to push the gay agenda in My Little Pony.
Oh my god. It's like they know how to push my buttons. So I'm gonna remain silent.
They're talking about all the different kids' cartoons now that are pushing the gay agenda.
Stop saying that. Because I have never gotten the memo of the gay agenda. And I have gays all around me. All of them. Everybody I know is gay. Every single person still have yet to see the gay agenda.
And there's Arthur and there's all these others
Doc
as well.
McStuffins.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Doc McStuffins, but from the name alone, I can only imagine the kind of jokes that were made that we're not going to entertain here today.
The series was praised for having offbeat humor and imagination coupled with complex life lessons.
Complex life lessons are like the absolute worst.
That it's even broken gender barriers, garnering adult male viewers affectionately known as bronies.
Brony. If you haven't heard of a fucking brony in 2019, you're fucking stupid and you're too goddamn old. And just how out of touch these fucking people are with pop culture. I mean, Jesus Christ, you don't even need to be a kid to know this shit. Well, the first time I heard of brony was like the last time I went on 4chan for not porn, which was like 7 years ago. And yesterday for the other thing. Patreon only.
You know, if you watch a TV program like Blue Bloods or any of these, there are writers and they have discussions behind the scenes as they talk about here in the past it wasn't the right time, they knew it wouldn't be accepted to introduce this, but they were looking for the right time to push the gay agenda and all that.
Oh my god. Can we get a fucking gay agenda, like, montage counter? Because I'm gonna do something that will also be Patreon only that I won't even say right now.
You know, these writers have an agenda.
Stop it!
And these Hollywood writers, their agenda.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Did he just do it 3 fucking times every time I fucking paused it? I'm gonna lose my mind!
By and large, for most of them, is anti-God. Because it's interesting. You watch a program maybe like Blue Blood.
What is Blue Bloods, by the way? I'm notorious for being, like, really uncool and unhip. I don't know what Blue Bloods is.
You have earned the distinction of being the best trained, best prepared.
Oh my god, Tom Selleck is in this? Okay, so it's like a cop show, which Ken Ham watches, which means I must watch it next.
And you think, oh, it's just about detectives and about police and so on. And then suddenly they'll have a program where, oh, they introduce a gay couple.
Yeah.
And they'll deliberately do this to push that agenda.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't handle it. I can't. Okay.
And they're doing it in all sorts of programs. Or in a movie, you're watching this movie that you think is, you know...
The gay agenda out of nowhere.
It's a good movie. It's a cute movie. We watched a movie about a dog one time.
And then,
Do you remember that movie about that dog? That was a cute movie.
suddenly in the middle of it...
And then boom.
Gay agenda. It's there.
It's there. And I hope we never get used to that.
Hope we never, ever, ever get used to being empathetic towards people who are different than us in consensual relationships. Fuck that.
Like, we should never, ever get used to that. Always point it out. Always tell your kids, this is wrong.
These are the same kinds of people that call kids bundles of sticks, like how they do in the UK. It is very hard to remain studious, and if anybody wants to talk shit, do it now. Because, I mean, I have like 6 other videos I've done that I've not been this intense. But it's been a while, and it's the same shit, and I hate it. Like, stop being an asshole your whole life. And, like, being a nice asshole is still an asshole. I was going to make another joke, but, like, it's Patreon only, and I feel like we have enough of that at this point.
And that's another reason why we
Absolutely,
encourage people to get pure.
And here comes the ad. The only thing I'm disappointed about, though, is that there hasn't been, like, any books yet, and it doesn't look like there's any books that are coming, because I just see, like, you know, the news articles on the desk, so. Maybe, like, when Bodhi is on, like, we'll get a book.
In the bookstore, we have a little book called The Very Best Plan, which is a little board book.
Oh, fuck! We got the book! Fuck yeah! But where is the book? I want it. This is what I come here for. This is the triple grade A USDA certified content that I come here for. It is the book advertisements. Who the fuck wrote it? Where can I fucking look at it and say it's too goddamn expensive and you guys are crazy? But I still want it because I love it. I live for the book advertisements.
For kids, obviously, it's a board book. It's for young kids.
But what if an adult man reads that book? Does that make him a pedophile? Because that book is for children.
All right, well, we're out of time for today, but we'll be back again on Monday.
That was my happy clap because it's over, finally, and I can start eating again because I'm fucking starving. Anyways, it's been fantastic. I'm really happy to be back. Special thanks to everybody who watches, subscribes, Patreon, all of that. Paul's fucking rad, and so is everybody else who's been on the show and knows a lot more than me, but maybe isn't as insufferable. I'm here for who I'm here for. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Later.